Here, and another episode of Gaming with Reno. Today I'm going to be playing Magic the Gathering Arena, the game that I originally came from, which is Magic the Gathering. I played that game for roughly 23 years. Now, obviously on a break because I go full-time in Final Fantasy trading card game, but I do tend to get into the game here and there just to keep up with the meta and understand where the game is evolving. It's a game that I'll always have love for, as much as it keeps going directions I don't care for, but it's a big part of my childhood and growing up. So I'm going to go ahead and play a couple games of this, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so today my quests are cast 20 white or red spells, cast 30 red or white spells, cast 20 blue or green spells. So obviously I need to play a red and green deck, a blue and green deck, or a blue and white deck, or a green and white deck. So let's see what decks I have to offer. I have one already queued up, I guess, from the last time I played. The Defuct deck is a deck I put together in about 30 seconds. It was a deck I just splashed a bunch of stuff that ramps your crystal power, mana in this game, and allows you to play the really big spells, or big creatures. There's a few meta decks that are currently going on in standard, in the standard format for Magic, that are way better than this, because I don't have all the cards. I'm not going to dump money into this game. I refuse to dump money into Magic right now. I'm not currently happy with where it stands, but I will plan to play it again eventually. Right now, Final Fantasy is my biggest drive, as I want to build communities, and you guys already know all that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick a deck and run a quick match real quick, and then I'll take a break and I'll return. Alright, so what should we play? You know what, I'll play the deck that I've just been bullshitting with. So let's run the troll deck and see how well we do. Alright, so my opening hand is a lot of crystal powers, or backups, you can see. These are lands. Big stuff that I want to play. And one mana ramp option. So if I play all of this, and hopefully draw into something good, I'll be able to cast this pretty quickly. Downside is I don't have the white mana to do so. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the gamble and see what we can do. Greet my opponent, and let's get started. The forward I just played gives me 1 green mana, or 1 green crystal power, so right now I have 3 available to me on my next turn, and then I'll play another crystal backup to gain 4 mana, which I can cast Vizier the Menagerie. This allows me to look at the top card of my library, and I can cast it if it's a creature card. I'll go ahead and get that started. The deck that I'm playing against is a meta deck. Anytime you see Scrap Heap Scrounger, it's going to be a pretty decent deck that's going to work around this card in general, and artifacts. So I'm probably going to be in a lot of trouble, because meta decks just crap on non-meta decks. For example, a lot of removal. A lot of answers to things that I can't do. Now this gives me the white mana I need, so I'm going to go ahead and get that going, and then get some more mana as well. Yeah, these things are really good. They only cost 2 crystal power, but they have Death Touch and Lifelink. And what Death Touch does is if it touches another forward of mine in like a block or an attack phase, it's going to kill it instantly no matter how strong it is. Lifelink is when it deals damage to something, whether it's your forward or your life total, it's going to gain that much life for your opponent. So I'm going to go ahead and play another land and get my big guy out there so I can just be a threat. I will not declare attackers because I don't want to be death touched. Now this, notice how it has this little animation on the screen? It's hexproof. It cannot be targeted by my opponent's spells or abilities, so it just is protected completely. It has Flying, Vigilance, and Trample. Flying allows it to fly over my opponent's creatures. Vigilance allows it to attack without dulling. And Trample, if it does deal damage to a forward, it's going to trample over it with the remaining damage. Notice how there's a 6/6 on his power and toughness? That's the power and toughness. Now this thing's a pain in the ass, because at any point, it's an artifact vehicle. It sits in the back, you can dull your forwards to crew it. It only requires 1 power to crew it, and then it becomes a forward. So he has a flying backup, or a flying forward that he at any point could block with or attack with. I'm not going to block that. I don't want my creature to die. He's going to gain a ton of life from this, it's going to suck. I'm going to play more big stuff, just to be a threat. Now, since I have Vigilance and I can't tap, I'm going to swing in. And I'm not worried about this thing. I'm going to swing in and kill that if he wants to go in. Gain your life. I don't care. Get rid of it. Oh, I'm in a tight spot. Oh, cool. That's fancy. Now what he did is enchanted my creature so it can't attack or block. Another form of spells that are available in Magic. I think we will have something similar when the weapons are finally revealed in Final Fantasy. I'm gonna get rid of this thing. Fuck it. Get rid of that piece of shit. Not getting the cards I need. This is the problem with the deck. There's a lot of land to make sure I can get the stuff played that I need to, but that's about all it has. It's for certain that I've lost this game. It would have to be a miracle if I could draw. Oh, I am drawing something stupid at the next turn if I survive. If he doesn't attack with all of them, I have a good chance of coming back. Walls, no dinosaurs, get wrecked, man. Shitty thing is I have a land that's coming up, so I'm kind of in the water here, regardless of what he does. Smart move would be not to attack with his death touch. He needs that to defend exactly as he's doing. Ooh, joy. Ooh, boy. And just like that, I have an entire board state. Game. And that, my friends, is shenanigans. Alright, so that first game's over. I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and then we'll be back for one more game. Alright, I'm back, and let's get into another game. Let's see, we can do competitive, quick. I'm probably just going to do quick, because all this extra stuff that's on here... Ooh, there's Popper now? What? Huh. Yeah, I don't feel like spending money. You have to spend money in this demo to actually... Well, it's not even a demo, it's a beta. This is a beta of the game. It's not quite released yet, but you have to spend money to actually get into these extra formats and extra stuff. And I have some money into it because you can earn it eventually over time. But I'm not doing all that. I'm just going to play quick. I still have to cast 30 red or white spells, so I'm going to probably keep doing something along those lines. I'm going to play a different deck, though, because this deck is, like I said, it's just bullshit. It's going to catch people off guard and wreck them and probably make them rage, but it's dumb. Red or white spells. I might as well just play a mono white deck. The purpose of mono white is to pretty much have a lot of smaller forward presence alongside of gaining life and sustaining itself. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. This is a deck I built around tribal. I'm pretty sure it's all cats. Johnny, the planeswalker in the deck, is a cat planeswalker, which is like a leader of the cats. And it's very synergetic. A lot of stuff triggers off. Like, if you think Final Fantasy has a lot of like effects that happen on the field, Magic the Gathering is on another level. It can go on forever, especially in the Commander format, which I can't show you on this particular game because it's not available yet. I'm going to go ahead and greet my opponent, per usual. I think it's his turn to decide if he's going to keep his hand. That's why it's taking so long to load. Alright. So I have an okay hand. It's not the best. But this thing's going to get huge because I have life gaining ability. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. If they're playing black or red, they could kill it pretty quickly. Or if it's blue, they could just sit back and just counterspell everything. Something you haven't seen too much in Final Fantasy is a counterspell ability. There is the monster that allows you to counter a spell. Not a spell. Yeah, an actual, like a summon, if it comes into play. But that, as soon as you do that, it removes it from the game, kind of thing. In this game, they have actual summons that counter your spells. So say you go to play like a 9-drop Nidhogg, they're going to play a 2-drop summon that's going to counter that, and you have nothing, you can do nothing about it. It's rough. What is this red thing? You will need, okay. Screw that, I'm not doing that. Now I just played Fountain of Renewal. At the beginning of my upkeep, beginning of my turn, I gain a life. And if I pay 3 mana, I can sacrifice it and draw a card. Okay, now this person is also playing a similar cat deck, which is going to get to be really annoying, and you're going to see a lot of triggers go off. But I'm going to go ahead and give him the idea that I'm playing a similar deck. I'm drawing into a really strong hand right now, so I think I'll be okay as long as he doesn't have too much removal. Now see, I'm gaining my life at the beginning of my upkeep. I will take this action. It's going to give him +1/+1. Every time I gain life, this thing gets stronger, and it's going to happen as long as this remains on the field. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage, full advantage of this. Play another one. And play the combo piece Leon and Vanguard. At the beginning of my combat on my turn, if you control 3 or more creatures, this gets +1/+1, and I gain a life. So all this is going to start triggering a bunch of stuff. Watch. The closest thing that you'll see in Final Fantasy that's similar to this deck is probably like Type 0. With the, how the synergy works really well with everything. It's very similar to that. Now these two are going to gain power because of this at the beginning of my combat phase. See how big they're getting? It's gonna get ridiculous for him unless he has removal. So I'm gonna go ahead and swing and punch this dude in the head for 4 damage. Okay, he played a flash spell. It's gonna seal away my card until I remove that flash spell from the game. That sucks. But that's the removal I was telling you about. That's the stuff that can kind of keep me held back. Okay, every time he gains life, this thing will untap. And he gains life. Okay. And this thing's gonna gain power because he just played a spell that gained him 3 life. Which is fine, I'm okay with this. I'm gonna have a bigger play next turn. Now the enchantment I just played, this thing can't attack or block anymore. It's on the field, but there's nothing he can do with it now. Ah, just what I need. Now that I have 3 forwards out, he's going to start gaining more points, and I'm going to gain more life. I keep swinging with this beat stick. There's nothing he can do to stop it. Unless he wants to lose his forwards. Now this is the leader of my deck, Johnny. The abilities that you see there, a Planeswalker's ability is basically you play it onto the field and it becomes another part of you. It's another player. The bottom right number that you see, the 4, is his life total. Oh, that sucks. Destroyed the artifact that was gaining me life each turn, but I'm okay with this. I have another enchantment that does similar things. Beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see. Give me my shit back, motherfucker. All the stacks are happening now. Everything's gonna get bigger. Ooh-wee, here we go. Bam. Enters the field. When this attacks, it creates 2 tokens, or 2 more creatures on my side that are swinging and attacking with lifelink. Lifelink, again, is to gain life when it hits anything. Now, because of that, 2 more enter the field. It's going to trigger this thing that's gaining me more life, which is going to trigger this thing, which is going to give me +1/+1 counters, which also triggers this thing because of the attack phase. So now the triggers are going off, and they're going to happen again. And now my guy that was swinging in for, 8 damage is now swinging in for 10. So he has to block things or he's going to die. And if these things go through, or if they hit anything, which they are, I'm going to gain more life and make these things even bigger. Whatever. And life gain. Here we go. Now they get bigger. This deck's silly.
Do not fear, my friend. deliver us to victory.
Pretty sure I have this game in the bag, unless he can destroy something of mine. There's really nothing he can do. And I've got way too big creatures right now. What you're seeing with the 1010 is it's a 10,000 power forward, like in Final Fantasy would be. This is the 13,000. Now, this is a really good card that could help him stay alive, but I don't care. There's not much, like I said, unless he can wipe the board, there's nothing he can do.
Look how far you have come.
I don't want to apologize for the recording, the whole recording quality. Right now, the reason why I'm playing these card games online and like smaller like flash games for the episodes is because my graphics card and all that stuff isn't top notch yet, and I'm working on getting that so I can improve the episodes and play better games. That's when the fighting game stuff will start coming in, and you guys will really enjoy those episodes. But I do have a cool episodes planned very soon that has to do with Super Smash Bros., so I hope you guys will stay tuned for that. Ooh, a 7/7. Oh, you can't do anything. Never mind. What am I doing?
Strength is born of struggle.
Dude, just give up. There's nothing you can do. Good game. Alright, there you have it, guys. This is episode 2 of Gaming with Reno, playing Magic the Gathering Arena. Hope you guys tune in next time, and until then, catch you later.